Hello, so I am Zoe. I am the coordinator for Dorking NCT Sling Library, and I'm also the Sling Consultancy, so I'm on Facebook and I'm in Instagram today, and doing a new feature on Fridays to go through a different carrier or sling every week. So last week I did the stretchy wrap, the lovely Joe and Joy stretchy wrap, and today I am doing the lovely Caboo Lite. So these, it's all part of our free hire scheme as well. So you come to the Sling Library and you have the sling in a lovely bag like this. So the Caboo comes in two pieces. So we have the outer piece, which I'm just going to pop over there, and then we have the main body of the carrier. So generally when you come to Sling Library, we'll check that this is all set up perfectly for you as well. So, hi! Oh, some people there. Hello. So basically this is a carrier that is a hybrid carrier. So it's similar to a stretchy wrap, but it's already sewn in. So it's sort of like a hybrid. It's sewn in on the back and we have some rings. And the rings allow us to tighten it. Whereas the stretchy wrap, the stretch is what holds it to us. With the Caboo, we need to tighten it. So what we do is we hold the cross so that we can read the label towards us, and it goes on like a top. So put my hand in and I get the top piece in the top, and literally it goes straight through like a top, and the arm's out the side like this. You just want to check that it's not twisted, so you can see that side is just twisted. So I'm just going to sort that one out, and then you just want to adjust. So I know that that's going to be far too much for a baby. I'm going to tighten it up just by pulling on the rings. So you can see enough space there, and you just take the pressure off the rings by pulling backwards slightly and pulling forwards in the direction that it goes into the rings at. So sort of in an upward motion, and just check that you've got enough space for your baby. You want to do more work here, less once baby's in. So what we just need to check is that goes into the rings nice and easy, so that I know that this top piece on the top is this top piece here. So it very much works like that. So again, the top piece here should be the top piece here, so that when I pull that, it adjusts the top piece, and then the bottom piece adjusts the bottom piece. So we can absolutely have precise adjustment with our Caboo, which is great. A lot of people think the Caboo is much quicker. You just put it on and tighten and off you go. Many people don't understand the ways and the process of tightening. So it's really, really important that we understand that those rings are really, really key for our tightening, and that we get it nice and evenly spread across baby. Otherwise, what typically happens is you'll put baby in, half an hour, maybe not even that, baby will be really low or will be really, really wonky. So what we're going to do is we're just going to check we've got enough space. I'm going to grab my lovely helper today. We go up nice and high on the shoulder of the top one, so that underneath, straight the collarbone, and it works pretty much from this point on, very similar to a stretchy wrap. So take that slack to the knee pit, and again just guide baby over to the side, stroke your collarbone into the knee pit, and again we're moving the sling rather than baby. So we want the baby to be sitting into the crick of the knees like that, and then hands up so we have that nice and J shape. What we're then going to do is go to the top here, and I can feel this one has a slightly different hem. So the Caboo Lite is a thinner fabric, and there's not as much fabric, and it's got a different edge to it. Some people find that that's less intimidating to use. The Caboo has more fabric on. So we can spread that over our shoulders, making sure that stays in the knee pit, and we bring it all the way across to the other knee pit, so we've got a nice cross supporting baby's back. And we're going to do the same on this side. So again, I'm just going to go under, grab the top layer, and just pull over how much I need, all the way over to the other side. So then at this point we want to do any adjusting that we need to do before we're going to put our third layer on. So for me, I can feel this outer edge is a bit loose. So I can either do a shoulder flip, which will take out some of that slack by going underneath, grabbing the edge and twisting it round. That will take fabric away from baby's face and leave the clear airway clear. The other way that we can tighten the edges, because the middle here is pretty good, this edge is pretty good, it's nice and snug, this edge a little bit loose, which might mean over time that baby will go a little bit lopsided. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it to here, I'm going to come to here, and I'm just going to give it a pull. So that looseness has come underneath and is now over here, and that makes it easier to tighten. I'm going to go to my top, then I go to my bottom, because I find that easier to find, and then I'm just going to pull it directionally. So you can now see that's a lot nicer and snug there for me. Again, I might want to do the same on this side, so I can just pass it through. I've now got all my looseness here, tighten, and then again, tighten the bottom. You can tighten the whole thing. But it's very, very precise how we need to tighten the rings. It's like the rays of the sun, so if I want to tighten the top, I pull it more upwards, tighten the bottom, pull it more downwards. Very, very directional. Then we get our third layer. The third layer is tied on our baby, so it goes up to the nape of the neck, under the bottom, and then we're just going to gather that up so it's nice and snug, supporting our baby on that third layer. Go behind, you're just going to tie it in a knot, and then I'm going to check that my baby's airway is clear. I can see my baby's face just fine. However, if you feel that you want to adjust, you can either flip your shoulders like that, you can use the side just to guide baby's head under, and you can move it away from baby. What we want to ensure is that this cross meets just at the nape of the neck and this comes up to the back of the neck. So we're going to do our checks. Can baby breathe? Yes, because I can see their face, and again we always want to be able to see their face. Lean forward, that baby does not come away from my body. That means that's nice and snug, supported in that lovely J shape there. If you want to tie these away, if you're going to the loo or whatever, very important, don't go behind. These rings work on pressure. If you go behind, they're going to eventually loosen. So come under the legs, cross, and then you can either, what I tended to do was just tuck them in behind the rings, like that. And that just keeps those ends out of the way. So for all intents and purposes, very similar to the stretcher. You've got the cross on your back, cross on your front, and then your pocket. To take off, we do the reverse. So we just undo our third layer. And the main difference here is we can just lift and guide baby out. Then what we're going to do, in order for us to take off the Caboo, because we've tightened it around this is probably going to be a bit too hard for us to get off. So what I tended to do was just loosen it, pulling back on the rings, grabbing it on the cross, putting one arm in, taking it back over my head, and then before I use it again, I would just shake it so that I know that my tails are nice and loose. Because the habit is when we're taking it on and off, we find that they will get mixed up, and then we try and put it back on, and it's all mixed up, and then we can't get it back on. So there we go, nice and easy. Make sure we've got that cross a little bit lower down, otherwise it's going to pinch. The other thing, sometimes you might find you have to rethread your rings because they get twisted if you're pulling and tightening, and if you're not careful on how you do that. So I can only redo this when it's on me. So go with your top edge, straight through both, pull it all the way through. Hi Laura. Yeah, and then separate the rings, and it just comes under the front one. And again, if you just lead with the top and pull the rest through, okay, the rest will come. So you've got a really nice spread, so that when we want to tighten, we know that that's really lovely and precise. And again, the other thing you can do is just go in with your thumbs and just span it out like that. Just means that it's not going to be, it's going to be easier to tighten. Okay, and you can absolutely do the same with the other side if you feel that it's twisted, and that can help get a good fit. And again, then I'll just pull up from here because I can feel that it's a bit tight, so I wouldn't be able to get my baby in. Feeding position is exactly the same as with the stretchy. So if you wish to feed in the sling, pop baby in as if you were putting them in anyway. You can do this straight from a upright carry as well. So hands up, stroke your collarbone into the knee pit, and then we would spread. Third layer. So if you're going to feed, take your third layer off, and then the side that you're going to feed off, the leg is going to come out of that side. So this hand is going to come out, and this leg needs to come out. I'm going to move it out of the way so I can access, and then go sideways, and then if you need to, go behind and just pull a little bit, and that'll give you a little bit more looseness to guide both legs through. And again, trying to move the sling rather than the baby. And just spread. That's all you're going to do, keep spreading it all the way. Generally one arm will be behind you, one arm will be at the front. And that is your feeding position. You can then use that if you get a cold shoulder, etc. So it's the same way with the stretchy wrap. Same back. Back you go, back upright. I can see, I can feel, and I know because it's this hand, So I need to take this leg back out of this one, back in to this one. Get them seated nicely, knee to knee support, and then spread. When you're doing this with the Caboo, because it's not as stretchy as a stretchy wrap, you might then feel that you need to tighten it again, which again you're just going to do through your rings. So that, my friends, is the Caboo in a nutshell. Really nice and simple, nice and quick and easy, and once you understand how your tightening works, then you are good to go. Key thing, can baby breathe? Are they being nice and secure? And are you comfortable? All of those things are absolutely key. If you're not sure, come along to Sling Library, second and fourth Tuesday each month at St Paul's Church. We have a range of slings that you can hire out. These are part of the newborn scheme. So this is, you have this free for 4 weeks, and then you come back and you can either take a different one after those 4 weeks, or you can keep that for another 3 months. So you get the sling for 4 months for £30. And then at that point come back and try perhaps one of the other more structured buckle ones once they're sort of out of that 4th trimester period. And that's open to anybody that can make our sling libraries. I also hire those out from consults, so if you would like a consult, you can't make sling library, I can do that as well. So any questions, pop them in the comments and I will come back to you. Have a great weekend. Take care.